The San Diego Chargers take on their AFC West division rival Denver Broncos in Denver on Sunday. Denver is currently installed as an 8.5-point favorite in this game on BETDAQ. 48.5 is a total. And when talking about this game, we have got to go back to the first time these two teams played this season 1 month ago. You remember, and it's hard to remember now because so much has happened in the last month. These teams, our opinion of these teams is so different based on what we've seen over the last month. But let me take you back to a month ago. The Denver Broncos were 2-3. The Chargers were 3-1. This game was in San Diego, and the Chargers were ahead 24-0 at halftime. I clearly remember Peyton Manning. Denver had the ball to end the first half, and they were deep in their own territory, so they had to take a knee on the last play of the half. And I clearly remember Peyton Manning just trudging off the field, and I remember thinking, I wonder if this is what he signed up for. 2-3 through 5 games, behind 24-0 to your division rival that's 3-1 in the division. San Diego looked like they were about to take control over the AFC West. Well, we know what happened since then. An epic meltdown in the second half of that game. I mean, Denver had the lead early in the fourth quarter. It did not even take them the entire second half to come back. And since then, Denver has won every game, covered the spread in every game. And San Diego, they went on after that game to a pathetic 7-6 loss in Cleveland. They won one game since then against Kansas City, but lost last week on the road in Tampa Bay. The Chargers now sit at 4-5, and here they are facing Denver again. This time, as we said, the game's in Denver. And if Denver wins this game, they have basically locked up the AFC West. Denver 6-3 right now. Chargers, as we mentioned, are 4-5. The Chiefs and the Raiders are totally irrelevant in the division. So if Denver wins this game, they're going to take a 3-game lead in the division. They'll have won both games against the Chargers. I mean, it is effectively over as far as the AFC West goes. And Denver is a heavy favorite, as we mentioned, an 8.5-point favorite. Denver's been a great team to back recently. They've covered 5 out of the last 6 games. Peyton Manning has that offense looking just like the Indianapolis Colts circa 2006. And even though all the credit has gone to Manning this year for the Broncos' good play, and most of it should go to Manning, he's been as good as ever. I think better than just about anybody thought he was going to be heading into the season. Give some credit to John Fox and new defensive coordinator Jack Del Rio for what they've done to that defense. 2 years ago, before John Fox came in, the Denver defense was terrible, one of the worst defenses in the entire NFL. Last year they improved some. They still weren't in the top 20 in total yards, in terms of total defense, total yards allowed. They still allowed more 40-point games than any other defense in the NFL. So they were below average last season, but there was definite improvement from the year before. And this year, they are much better. 10th in the NFL in points allowed, 6th in total defense, 6th in yards allowed. They're good against the run. They're good against the pass. I guess the offense in Denver is outperforming their defense a little bit, but when you put the two units together, this Denver team looks elite right now. A lot of people think that even though their record, Houston clearly has the best record in the AFC, and New England is a team that a lot of people think could be one of the best teams in the AFC, and Baltimore has a better record than Denver. I've heard a lot of people over the last few days say that Denver is looking like they might be, in addition to the Houston Texans, the best two teams in the AFC. But you know what? After all those things I've said about the Denver Broncos and the San Diego Chargers, tough to have a whole lot of faith in them right now. I like San Diego on the road this week. I think this is too many points. These are division rivals. San Diego has played well recently against Denver. Remember, they were up 24-0 at halftime of that first game. They've won their last 3 games in Mile High. The last 3 seasons they've won in Denver. I know the Broncos hadn't had Peyton Manning in those games, and it's a big difference. But I don't know. The Chargers are a weird team. Their offense, they played a great game, obviously, for the first half of the first game these two teams played, and then they looked so bad in the second half of that game and so bad the next week against Cleveland. But the last 2 games they played better. Now, I know they've gone against 2 soft defenses in Kansas City and Tampa Bay, but Phillip Rivers seems to have found another weapon in the passing game in Denario Alexander, and Phillip Rivers badly needed another weapon in the passing game. I just have a feeling, I'm not going to go ahead and say the San Diego Chargers are going to win this game outright, even though I wouldn't be stunned. I would not be stunned if the Chargers went into Denver and pulled off a big upset here. I think 8.5 is too many points. I think Denver, at this point right now, we always talk about buy low, sell high as far as sports betting goes, and I think this is a good sell high opportunity for the Denver Broncos, laying more than a touchdown against a team that has had a lot of success against them in the recent past. So Hey, it wouldn't shock me if Denver went on to blow out San Diego just like they've blown out a lot of teams recently, including Carolina last week. But you know what? I don't think it's going to happen. I do lean towards San Diego in this game, and I'm thinking about getting involved. Well, I don't know. I'm going to release we're going to release our official picks on the site as we do here in a little bit. But every Saturday, of course, we release the official picks. and I think San Diego. This is one of my favorite games of the week. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a close one. I do like San Diego plus 8.5 on the road in Denver on Sunday.